don't have a chair, so I'll just start the meeting and then you can let the chair do it as well. You can take over. Because Will was chairman, I believe, isn't it?
Yes.
So I'll call to order. Roll call.
Commissioner Robbins.
Here.
Commissioner Algier.
All right. Stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Move agenda. Any additions, deletions? I think so. Good. Public comment?
I think Lois Bailey here to say hi.
Don't I need a motion to approve the agenda?
The election officers. It's open for nominations.
I'm willing to do that.
Good.
Don't get so excited.
I make a motion that Glenn Algar be our chairperson.
For a second,
I'll second it.
any dialogue, debate?
As long as you guys live with, I haven't run Robert's rules in a long time, so this is gonna be a learning experience.
Just run the rules and forget about the Roberts.
Okay,
Relearning.
there's a motion to elect Gwen as chair. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Congratulations, it's your meeting. Go for it.
Okay, did we do approval of the agenda?
No.
Oh, sorry. I asked if there's any additions, I didn't approve it.
Yeah. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Second. My God, it's just you and I.
The two persons,
I'm waiting for somebody.
Well, this is a good time to, remember.
So is it motion by Robbins, seconded by Algier, or?
No motion, I second by me.
Okay.
I made the motion.
Okay.
Oh, that's right, we did public comment. Okay.
Okay, so, and then your motion passed.
Yeah.
You both said A. Okay, just checking.
Okay, can I have a motion for approval of minutes from May 25th?
Well, I got a question, yeah. Did we have a meeting last year?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do have,
May 25th.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was,
I was here?
no.
No,
this
he was
shortly
absent.
after you, so.
Oh, what did you say? I didn't even know I was on this committee until you called last year.
Oh, we haven't had obviously meeting.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from May 25th, 2021.
all those in favor?
All right.
Okay, April, did you want to review the 22 budget services?
I gave you the, what's up to date, the last, through the period of March 31st. So we are doing well. Things are proceeding, I mean, really well as far as like in-home services. We're almost halfway through the year, we're getting close to that. So we're on track for what we had budgeted so far. We have not done as many activities still with COVID, but we are going to do our first a luncheon and outdoor picnic starting in June. So I'm hoping to start reintroducing some of those social activities and educational opportunities. Hoping that COVID
I did get a
stays at
request.
bay.
I can't make the person's name, but I want to tell you that they love to play you again.
Yes, that's what we've had discussion about that, so.
I said I'd pass it on.
Yeah.
So where are you going to do the outdoor event?
At the park by the, everybody calls it a different name. Not by the marina, but,
The other part.
the other part.
It's something.
Yes, it's something. But it has a cover, it's covered, it has bathrooms. It's called North Park. North Park, thank you.
Where the farmers market.
Yes, yes, yes. My staff has called it a variety of different names, so sorry about that. So yes, we're having it in North Park, and we've done that before, we had picnics and things there, so I hope, I'll see how many
Did
people
you get a
come.
date? I'm sorry.
I do. The 16th. June. June, we figured it'd be warm enough at that point, to do that.
So what have you bringing food?
Yes, so we will, I'm in the process of looking for a restaurant that we can make, they'll maybe do like a sack lunch or a box lunch. So we reduce the risk of, really helping themselves like we've done in the past. So, we're in the process of doing that. First we need to see how many people, decide to sign up as well, so.
Did you know the BI Grill has some very outdoors with picnic tables?
Yes, I knew that, but I totally forgot about it. I think that opened like pre-COVID and I totally forgot.
I know. We're gonna have an event there this Thursday, and so I drove by to look at it. And it is, it's an enclosed area with picnic tables outdoors.
Are they covered?
It's right on the side, isn't it?
They're not covered.
Okay.
No, there's something in the
I
front.
know they had something on the side.
There's something behind that. That they don't, and I think it's more for parties. Because the side is people coming in.
Right.
And just FYI in the future.
I know at one time, John owns the Michigan market. I think it was down high, I think it was, he wanted to individual soups and sandwiches.
Well, he was on my list of
Bo?
the contact, yeah, Bo. He is,
Very nice man.
He's very nice. I get sandwiches frequently from there, so,
Yeah,
yeah.
but he could set individual,
Yeah,
so you don't have to pour it out.
pour it out, yeah.
And his prices are quite reasonable.
I think so,
The
yeah.
soup's good, so, I mean, this is something.
Yeah.
Anyway, the euchre thing, several people have asked about it, so.
I think with the well, we're just now, I feel like the numbers have been good. So, and then the person that facilitated that group of senior, I don't think will be able to do that any longer. So it's trying to find somebody that could run it as well. So, that has been on our list of a topic of discussion. So, frequently.
Do any of you two play euchre?
Like the cheap.
Well, if you play with the seniors, you better be on your guard, because if you misplay, if you got gag, they will call you out. This is very serious. You better not be asking what's wrong or misplay, and they will. I mean, it costs a whole $2, so it's just serious. Well, they do take it very seriously, right? I'm not joking.
No.
This is cutthroat euchre.
Yes.
And those kind of decent turnout.
Yes, it has always been, and I know a lot of people have asked about that as well. Obviously, we're not doing an expo this year. There's nobody, BASA, Grand Traverse is not doing an expo either. We are all hopeful that next year will be our year, that we can resume that, so.
Yeah, it's not safe. It's probably not safe, yeah.
I don't.
That was always a very nice event. You and the staff did a good job of that.
Yeah. So, that's the budget. Any questions about that? Specific.
Period, ending, this is the revenue expense. Okay, so where's the budget?
Right here. Right here.
I thought that was period ending.
So, this is the expense report. They do
Oh, I just didn't look far enough.
Yep. So, we'll go by the line items of what's budgeted, what's been spent so far this year.
So no red flags.
So what do you, I'm not doing, what do you spend more, maybe you spend more on yourself?
I think, we'll
Let's see, what, you got 821, you're at 241.
right. Our expenses are gonna go up considerably, and that's what we're meeting today to talk about in-home services, so. We'll be spending more than what we anticipated.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm interested in what's changed since COVID, because your numbers are, we discovered
Well, we have more, yeah, I mean, yes, I would say the trends, we're having more people that are reaching out to us. I would say in previous years, in the past, like, I've been here 9 years, when we have an application, that people can submit, beginning January 1 for unmet needs or in-home services or, a variety of our programs that. And, I would say in the past years, it's by March, we have a significant amount of people have already applied. Like throughout the remainder of the year, you'll have a trickle of maybe one or, occasionally here and there. And as we get into fall, there'll be more applications submitted when there's issues of heating and utility expenses. But we are still going really steady. So every week we're still approving, I would say 5 to 6 applications, which is just very unheard of. And I think with COVID, I think we were out there in a different way, so we touched people and people were aware of our programs that we had. With food delivery, I think people felt comfortable, like, oh, they're really nice people, I can come to them, or if I have an issue, or if I have a neighbor or a family member. So we have seen an increase in that way of people coming to us with seeking supports. And not only for paying for the in-home services or unmet needs, but also just an increased number of people that are looking for guidance and that information and assistance and how do they navigate resources and things to encourage them to live and to remain in their home safely.
So do you think it's just that more people are aware now because?
I think it's a combination. I think one, it is an awareness, but also two, I think we saw a lot of people that during COVID did not seek out the medical attention that they needed, did not go move into other senior options. And so we have a number of seniors that are declining and they're not willing to go into a home. So they're looking for that addition, that support in the home. So it's a common, yeah. And I would say in the past, like this year, we really talked about, like at the beginning of the year, seeing the impact of that isolation, how it had on our seniors. During COVID, people not seeing friends or not being able to get out for social opportunities, and how that really impacted their health and well-being. We really saw a downward trend of that, of just people declining.
You know, we were 3 doors down from us, I just found out their kids, and she fell. She's been in bed for a year. I have a very frail husband who's trying to take care of her, and they never asked for me.
Yeah, that's pretty common.
Yeah.
And their daughter came out to check on them, and she couldn't find them.
Yeah, we have a lot of, but then we also have a lot of seniors that don't have any family. They don't have a support system, so they're relying on us to try to help them navigate. So that.
So it's really important for neighbors to be.
Yeah.
You know what, I don't even know that's what, I'm just, something. We have a lot of vulnerable people, and if you can find the neighbors, this is really important.
Yeah, okay. That's a great idea. We try to put that in our newsletter, but
Something in the town, just reminds me what's available.
yeah. So yeah, that's a lot very much.
Yeah, we have really important services.
Okay.
Okay, budget and services. So did you cover all the services? Yes. Personal care, respiratory medication.
Okay, so that'll be the next piece that we go into the next agenda item. You're ready to move on?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, so we received I was contacted by Kristen Harrison, who oversees the Munson Home Health Private Duty Services. And who informed us that they would be terminating Munson SSA to no longer provide those services, and that their services would be ending as of May 31st.
Yeah, not just to us, everybody.
Well, so the private duty, that would be like what we contract with them for. Basically, it's a shortage of staff. There's a shortage in caregivers, which we've been talking about and saying it was coming. Well, it's here. The challenges are here, and so they have that. And then Munson also felt like it was competing against itself, and because the hospital shortage has a shortage of caregivers or nurse aides, and then so you have they would prefer, I think, to have those aides within the hospital setting as opposed to the home healthcare setting. But then also one of the tipping points was the increase in fuel and gas prices, because these caregivers are using their own vehicles and to travel to homes. The mileage reimbursement, I mean, I would say it's not cutting it and meeting the needs. So they had a number of aides that decided not to continue because of that fuel cost. And so they decided that they can no longer provide that service. So that was a big blow, because we have 27 seniors that receive in-home services from them, ranging from homemaking, med management, personal care, and respite care. So we have 27 seniors that we need to make a plan for in order to ensure continuity of care and they're receiving what they need. We currently also have a contract with Comfort Keepers. So my initial response was I reached out to them to see if they could absorb those 27 clients that were receiving 3 months in. It took some time to think about that, to look at their numbers, but they have said yes, they can do that. And it also helped that one of the aides that provides a lot of services for our seniors, that our seniors absolutely love, has decided to, is going to go work for Comfort Keepers and maintain her current caseload of what she has. So that will also help with that continuity of care. I reached out to, so you also have to home health agencies. There are very few that can accommodate the number. So Comfort Keepers can accommodate the number of people that we serve, and also Leelanau County. There was only one or two other home health agencies that could even begin to meet that need. I reached out to both, and both cannot do that in the county. Bright Star said they cannot get people to come to the county because of the distance and how far it is to get there. And they can't seem to find aides that live in Leelanau County that want to work for them, because if they're doing that type of work, they're able to do that for privately for a lot of money. So they said, well, if you have a couple, you might be able to accommodate maybe a couple people, but they can't. And they actually took on a large client caseload in the cattle area for Munson. So they absorbed those clients. In speaking to Bright Star, they said the only one, there were other agencies that they were aware of was Holly Home Services, and they were in the same boat that they're not really providing services for the county either. They might be able to do a few here and there, but that was it. So, Comfort Keepers was the right option in regards to transitioning. So we talked about the contract the way it currently is, and they're struggling with caregivers and the rates and trying to get people to stay with them as well, and the need for a higher pay rate in order to get people to come to Leelanau County. So they proposed increasing the rate to the rate that if you called off the street and asked Comfort Keepers for our services, this is the rate that they would. So if you're looking at this is the rates that they have changed, proposing are the rates that anybody would get off the street. We had a reduced rate because it had a much lower rate, and I think they did it just to be nice to us, but they really weren't. It was not meeting the needs that they're seeing now. So they proposed an increase in service rates, and so you'll see that what we're currently paying to what is now. So personal care, respite care, homemaking, we were paying $31.63 an hour, and that would go up to $45 an hour, plus a $3 surcharge for fuel. There'll be one for each visit. Medication management, when we were paying $73.09, and that would be going up to $150 an hour, plus the $3 fuel surcharge. And these are the same rates that Bright Star is charging and that other home health agencies are
So
charging.
basically telling we have no choice.
Really don't have a choice.
Do the 27 people, do they know?
Yes. Yes.
Did not notify them, or do you know?
We notified them. Munson notified us, and then it was our responsibility to notify the client if there was a change, but also their aides have been telling individual
Yeah, I
seniors,
assume.
and so we've gotten a number
But
of.
there was a legal notification.
Yes, and I think I gave you the
Yeah,
letter
yeah.
for legal notification of that.
So even foot care's coming?
Because they have a nurse that provides that service. It's a nurse provided service. And so their nursing rate is $150. And so when they do a foot care clinic for us, so you have, they can do 2 to 3 people within that hour. So,
Okay, I think I understand. Explain it. This is Monson's old rate.
yes, and Comfort Keepers rate, we were paying the same rate. So that's their old rate, that's the current rate we have a
And
contract with.
Comfort Keepers would be the second contract.
Yep, so, yeah.
And I didn't make any more work for it, but how many people does this include? This all group here?
So we have 62 people that are currently receiving
They
in-home
don't
service.
get, oh, 62 is not.
They're not gonna get every
They're not-
single
right.
thing. I mean,
I
some
guess
people
what-
only get one service, some people get multiple services. So it varies from each individual, what
I
they
mean,
need.
I don't know if you can, I mean, just to make it easier for some of the other commissioners. Yeah, I mean, right now, you look at $150 an hour, everybody's gonna freak out. I mean, if you could break it down, really how much more they're gonna cost us, you know?
75, yeah. Yeah, it's good.
I mean,
It's
I
double.
told
Yeah,
them,
okay.
because, I mean, I think when you look at the numbers at the end, it's not gonna be as bad as, when you look at $150 an hour. I mean,
So Rick, are you saying, have like a breakdown of like how many people we currently have, and then break it down, like, who's what
I think
service, and then say, this is what we projected of what it,
Right.
at this cost, this is a projected cost at this rate, okay.
And I think in there, and I think it's a good idea, because it's not commission to ask that question anyway.
Yeah,
But also put the fact that you can absorb this in the budget.
yeah,
That's the key.
yeah, I have the money to do
And
that,
I think that's the key.
yeah.
point.
I think when you add all these up, it's probably not gonna be the biggest numbers. I mean, they're gonna still not see 150.
Well, I currently budgeted, for like 207, like 208,000.
Yeah.
In the current, but I mean, I have extra that I can tap into to cover the.
Well, the
extra.
reality, if you're in continuous service, you have no options, right?
I don't have an option. No, I mean, that's ultimately, yeah, I guess the board's decision. I mean, if we want to continue and go down this route, then
You
this is the option.
attempted to contact other companies.
Yep.
You were turned down.
Yep,
And we've had a good partnership with companies
Yeah,
for many years. I mean,
Yeah.
that's good quality service, so that's not an issue. But really, that's our only, and they're charging you the same rate as they're charging everyone, so they're not.
right, and then Bright Star confirmed that their rate may be like $1 less than what these rates are, and for.
But they can't provide a service.
But they can't provide the service, so, yeah, but I was also looking like, well, what are your service rates, even if you could provide this, and this is the kind of the going rate.
So what's the difference between, you said 27 times in-home services and this 62?
So, because I have 62, seniors that are receiving in-home services. 27 of them have been receiving services through Munson, the remainder already been receiving services through Comfort Keepers.
Okay.
So we had 2 companies always, and in the past, we kind of divided the county geographically, because that would make most sense when you have an aide, so you're not going from, Northport to Empire, to all over, so that helped in that way, so. Yeah.
So Comfort Keepers can make a smooth transition. for
Yes.
us.
Yeah.
seniors.
Yes.
And some of them, not all of them, will have the same care limit.
Yes, some of them will have the same family plan, which
Important.
is really important and helpful when you were transitioning, because the change is hard for seniors. The change is hard for anybody, but I think sometimes even more so for seniors, so. I approached, legal counsel about how best to, do the contract. And so Bob Townsend recommended, terminating the current contract we have. And so, he would be an amendment, basically, in termination that the contract would end. And then have a new contract. And Cover Keepers would like to do the new contract for 1 year, and then to reevaluate in 1 year's time is how it's working, how it's going.
So did you need us to just a motion?
You don't need to know.
Because we need to, you're saying we should terminate.
So, well, I created, for the amendment, to approve the amendment between us and Cover Keepers, to terminate the existing contract as of May 31st, and then the second amendment to approve the amendment between,
So it's two separate items.
yes,
So you're prepared for
I am prepared for that,
That's gonna be tomorrow.
yes,
that. It's on the agenda.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you said we're going to be gone.
yeah.
Yeah, we have no choice. That's why I want to have this meeting here as quickly as possible.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's enough, I think.
It is enough.
That's all, I mean, that's all.
Good job, you had, it's something you had to do. How are your new positions?
Good.
You want to endorse this recommendation?
Yes.
Before we switch it up?
Do we need a motion for that?
That'd be helpful, just to say that the committee member endorses.
Can we make a motion to support and endorse the contract changes as described?
Second.
Denise?
Yes.
You vote?
We got it.
Did we vote? Oh, we both second, okay.
You should. You have to vote. Right, Chad?
All in favor?
Yes.
All right.
Any, not in favor?
What's that?
Is there anyone not in favor?
No.
Motion passes.
Thank you, I appreciate the support.
Well, thank you. This was a lot of work in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
You were not expecting this from us.
No, I was not. It was
When did we find out?
We just,
a couple weeks before they sent the letter.
yeah, we're trying to get something in place and.
I reached out to
provide
them, because I have care coordination meetings with Cover Keepers in Munson, like once a month, we get together and we discuss the seniors that we're both providing services for to make sure that we're all on the same page, or if there's anything that's come up for either one of us to address. And so I reached out to Munson, I'm like, hey, we need to schedule our meeting, and she's like, well, I'm like, are you serious? I go, you're Munson, I did not expect this at all. She's like, yeah, well.
I know you're asking about for 1 year.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you may do up to one in there, with it, so it doesn't happen again, but they gotta give us at least 90 days.
Our contract is 30 days, so they did give us the 30 days. So they did with the contract, and then the legal counsel had advised me for 30 days. It's just a lot when you're dealing with services and trying to navigate that during these times.
I mean, who else would we have if we didn't have comfort?
Nobody.
We probably have to see services to this.
That's what I'm asking, for like 90 days, and we lost out this time, say they back out.
So you want, would you like me to have legal counsel put 90?
Well, whatever.
Well, I'm not sure Comfort would agree to 90 days.
I don't think, yeah.
I'd say stick with the 30. I mean, we've got a good relationship with them.
Yeah, I don't see
We haven't had any problems.
Oh,
They're very ethical.
yeah.
Okay, so are the other positions working out well?
Yes.
Your new position?
Yeah, I think, we're feeling our way in some ways. We have, but it's been great in that, and together, we've been able to touch more people, and reach more seniors in the community. We've also been able to dive deeper and see, we've had some seniors that receive services, and then because they've been able to meet with them more regularly or have conversations, like when they no longer needed that service, we were able to stop one service. It wasn't a worry about like we're providing a service that really isn't needed. And then also we're in the process of really working to, the goal of mine has been, these in-home services are kind of the big picture, the big thing, that oftentimes this is what if somebody needs this type of, if they're in a crisis situation or it's really dire. Families are struggling, individuals are struggling. So you get rid of, you address the in-home, the big services, and then it allows for us then to, having more staff to go into it deeper. So, because oftentimes you find, like, after everything is settled and some of these bigger needs are met, you can go like, okay, well, tell me about, how are you able to really, are you getting out socially? Are you, how is getting to the grocery store and getting food? How is transportation? And sometimes at that point, then people are really able to, I think, relax more and really share the whole story. And so we've been able to connect a number of seniors with bigger other services within the community. So, and that's the goal of how can we help people to stay in their home as long as possible. And because of, we saw this coming of the shortage in caregivers and trying to get them to put those support networks in place, as well as recognizing that there are not even places for people to move to if they have to. So how can we support them in the home effect as long as possible so they can do that in a safe manner? So it's allowing us to do more that people with. That makes sense.
When's your furniture?
Oh, the 24th.
Oh, this one?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, it's been challenging. I think your department has been hit more dramatically than most of COVID just because of the food distribution you're doing there.
We're still doing it.
Yeah, and then this and seniors just get overwhelmed by everything. And put cold on top of that, and then put this on top of that.
So you'll be doing meals on Mondays? Yeah. It's something like meals. And we'll do that as long as meals on wheels go allow for that. I mean, I eventually foresee that it's going to go back to the original guidelines if they will do that. But right now, it's really needed for a lot of people.
What about people who can't drive?
Well, we either put them on a delivery system through Meals on Wheels, or we do have a few that we deliver ourselves. We know that they can't. I have one senior in particular, he's not able to get to the meal site because he's also caring for grandchildren. So, he's on my way home. I just drop him off every Monday on my way home. So, yeah. But it also allows me to have face-to-face contact with him to make sure he's doing okay.
He's taking care of his grandkids.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure on people.
Yep. So, we just try to be a support when we can. But, it's been very challenging for seniors as well as, and my staff and I will fully admit that there have been times where we're exhausted. I mean, yeah. We're a counselor to a lot of people. Yeah.
No, thank you for what you're doing. Any other topics, any other topics? Board member comment?
Congratulations on your good review, Chairperson.
The last group I was chair of, I hated Robert's rules. Oh my God. So the treasurer always poked me.
Well, between Ted and I, will poke you.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. This is good. This is good. Any public comment?
Well, just to say that, I think the North Park works better than the DI Grill spot, Thursday, Mr. Mayor. because the parking is so much easier there.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
not sure what the library is gonna, do with a large group. So, and if you need more picnic tables, just ask the village and they can move them from another park to accommodate, extra heads up.
Okay.
What's North Park?
North Park is,
Is
you
it
know,
the
where the
one on
farmers market
22?
is? Yeah.
Yeah, right at the
Or
top.
school for it and 22 is right
If
across.
you're coming up to the boat, you can't see it,
If you're gonna launch a boat, it sounds made out of a boat launching.
but you have the light there, you can see it.
Yeah, is it straight at the light?
If you could.
It's down in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, so it's a really nice.
There'll be restrooms there, and,
Yeah.
pavilion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
new
it's a
restaurant.
nice, yeah, it's a nice.
So, staffing shortage, again, I was remembering the old hospital in Northport when that operated. I don't know if any of you remember that, but yeah. Again, the problem was having housing, and quality housing brings you quality people. If you knew of a house that was going to be vacated, a rental, particularly, rent it. Just put it on your contract and rent that stupid house, and then you've got a competitive edge against these staff people from Comfort Clippers who are driving from south of Grand Traverse County into our area. And because there's such a shortage, you gotta figure out where your edge is. And housing is the edge. That's it. How can you train people and pull them to be staff to fill all these positions? It just doesn't work. So, I'd be really aggressive and say, house, I know it's gonna be for rent. I'm not in a damn house, even if I don't have a tenant for it. Anyway, thanks.
That would be an interesting budget introduction.
I know it would be, but it's a reality.
Especially they're not your employees.
No, they're not my employees.
No, it's a perk for employment.
Yeah.
In any way.
It's an interesting idea, I'm not sure where it would fit. I don't know how we could manage that kind of thing.
Well, we'll let
Well, there's
different
gotta be
committee worry
work
about that. Give the Senior Services Committee.
A workaround, some other workaround, but it's not the only place that it's really a necessity.
Okay.
That's all I got to say. For the moment.
Motion to adjourn. We're adjourned. Thank you for your work.
Thanks.
Well, thanks both of you for coming.
Yes, thank you.